Danny handed out last week. We all have a copy. All of our information is in that packet. Everyone that's on this council.
Our emails don't even go there. That works both ways. Can I make a motion to approve the minutes for February 7th and February 14th, 2012?
Madam President, I have a question on the minutes. As far as the minutes go, under public participation, on the 7th and the 14th, it says who spoke. It does not contain the content on which they spoke about, and I believe that that's in violation of. It does have it?
David Moore spoke about EIT. Cindy Diver spoke regarding library aid and minimum wage. John DeFlorio spoke regarding comment period, beginning and end of meeting. Lisa Ward spoke regarding drug problems at Kimberly News. Cindy Fry spoke.
Are you saying there's two different minutes?
Yeah. Sure. Marlene Calabro asked when the tax bills were going out. That was the February 7th. That's in a minute. In public participation on February 14th, David Storr spoke again regarding right to know in EIT. Tom Weber spoke regarding fire company matters. John DeFlorio spoke. We don't have Brian Weber spoke.
You all know why it's a good. I can't remember. I'm not going to lie.
Jill Bowles
Should it be on there? Why am I left there? What if I really brought them, sir? I only did it. Wait, I just go with what I spoke about. I'd see how
That's not talking about, it's not the same as. I know we spoke about a lot more than
Listen, guys, Madam President, all I'm asking is, in the future, just to solve this problem, because it's not the biggest problem in the world, it should be solved. When we have minutes, can we just put in the content on what people speak about?
Isn't it being recorded? Yeah. So would she go word for word?
That's not what minutes are. Minutes are a summary of what happened.
No, I have.
But you're picking and choosing what was important.
No, probably what they're going by is what I write next to the person that speaks. Which basically, like Eleanor Short spoke regarding taxes, you spoke regarding the
So
that's why we have the tape recorder, correct?
Yeah.
What did I speak about? Clearly, I clearly don't remember.
All the meetings that were done before, we want to be a tape, and then they were word for word. They were doing the minutes. So this
Can I please have a motion in the minutes to approve February 7th and February 14th?
motion.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Sarowski?
Yes.
Ms. Weaver? Yes. Mr. Petty?
Yes.
Ms. Rowley?
Yes.
Mr. McGuigan?
No.
Ms. Rafter? No. Mrs. French? No.
Mr. Casenti, I'm presently moving the report of the treasurer from item number 12 up to and including item number 6. If Mr. Casenti could please stand and give his treasurer's report.
Just as a
Speak about the auditor.
yeah, first we'll talk about the auditor first. I suggested that council, townships and boroughs are required to have an audit done every year by April 1st. It's a cash basis audit, it's required by the state. It's a DCED report that's filed. We don't have a big financial statement. It's done annually. I suggested the Lightsville economides. Cindy Lightsville is the former county controller in Delaware County for 2 terms. She does a lot of boroughs and townships and school districts in Delaware County. It's a top-notch firm, and it's very reasonably priced when they do the audits. And I recommend the council taking a vote on that. And I've worked with them in other boroughs and townships I work in, and they're top-notch. They're located in media, and I believe they can do it for $7,500 on their engagement, which is inexpensive for an audit of this nature. But they're top-notch. I think they do maybe 10 or 15 different towns and boroughs in Delaware County. And her being the county controller for eight years, she has a real good feel for this area. So that's my recommendation. Council for me the former software package, you have the Freedom system, and they could probably come in here and get the thing done with it. It's required by law, you have to do it, that's why you have to appoint it. That's my recommendation.
Can I have a motion to appoint?
Just a quick clarification on what the economy is. The borough's annual audit for the year 2011, and it cost them $7,500. 2011 audit, your audit, 2011.
Can I
That's
have
the
a,
motion.
can I have a motion to appoint Lightsville and Economy East at $7,500 to appoint, to audit the books for 2011 per the recommendation of Mr. Vicente?
Second.
Have a roll call, please.
Mrs. Drowsy?
Yes.
Ms. Peterson? Yes. Mr. Bennett?
Yes.
Ms. Foley?
Yes.
Mr. Leggett?
Yes.
Ms. Rafter? Yes. Mrs. French? Yes.
Does anybody have any questions on the financial report that Mr. Vicente in their packets?
I gave the package, my package went out on Friday. If anybody, excuse me for interrupting, anybody on council wants to see any more in depth on certain accounts, I gave you a general fund register and a payroll register, as well as a budget to actual through the date of the meeting. If anybody needs any more detail and backup, I would gladly email me or call me and I can get that. It's a waste of paper to give you a whole general ledger. Situation we're in right now, due to the situation with the tax collector, money, most towns are, their discount period ends in 2 weeks. We're going to be 2 or 3 months behind, so we're going to have to be real careful with what we pay. We're going to need payroll. We're going to be real careful what we expend in the next month and a half until we start getting our real estate tax money in. The earned income tax and the business privilege tax is coming in at a pretty good pace, and they'll come in quicker when taxes are filed April 15th. But the real estate tax is our bread and butter. We really have only brought in a little bit right now, so I would hope council can hold off any big expenditures until mid-year. But if anybody has any questions, I'd gladly answer them. The 2 situations I brought up at the committee meeting last week with the IRS, I have a meeting with one of the agents next Friday over the phone to get the borough compliant with our 1099 filings. Hoping once we're compliant, we'll be in good shape. And then the situation for back payroll taxes, I've been playing phone tag with the other IRS agent to try to get us up to speed on that. All our payroll returns have been filed properly since council moved to a outside payroll provider. Right now, we're just trying to get the second quarter of 2011 in check and reduce or abate any penalties or interest. I'm hoping we can get the penalties or interest abated on the balance we owe from last year. Because I don't want the IRS, creeping around the borough. We want to make sure everything's compliant and so forth. If anybody has any questions, I'd really take it.
I have a quick question. Where is snow removal? What category is that part?
Where is what?
What category is the snow removal part?
Snow removal would be under in the 430s. It's a liquid fuel item.
Okay.
If there was any snow removal, I don't think, since I've been here, we haven't paid anybody for any snow removal.
Right. Okay.
We've been actually kind of lucky, but it would be under the 430s, which is repair and maintenance.
Yeah, I see.
I haven't paid.
Gotcha.
I have a question, Mr. President. Last week we spoke about Carmen Hague and looking into back pay and vacation pay. I just wanted to see where you came along with that.
Yeah, like I suggested, in my opinion, she's entitled to her retroactive pay at the beginning of the year. And with the librarians as well as the crossing guards, this upcoming pay next week, they'll get a separate check to pay for their retroactive increases from January 1st for crossing guards as well as librarians. With Ms. Hague, I think she's just owed whatever her increase was supposed to be as of 1/1. She would be entitled to that, in my opinion, up until the date of our dismissal. So that would be, if council is agreeable to that and agrees with that, we'd have to pay that in the next pay, next week. Because there was just to clarify, there was a freeze on all wage increases for most employees as of 1/1/2012. Librarians are getting, librarians that weren't at minimum wage.
What does that have to do with my vacation pay?
Vacation, like I told you before, is not my call on it. I don't know,
That's what I think.
I thought you said, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. The vacation pay is accountable. I don't know what precedence is here when people leave or are dismissed if they get back.
Well, can I make a motion to give Carmen her vacation pay?
I'll second.
Was it in the ordinance? When you did the salary ordinance, was it in the ordinance? Yes.
Yes.
She has things in the ordinance.
I'd like to make a motion to table it.
Table it.
Table it and it'll be 4 to 3. And you already know
Larry made a
that.
motion to table it.
You owe the lady, she worked all these years, you can't give her vacation pay.
Have a roll call on the table, please.
I mean, it's a table, you know it's going to be 4 to 3. I mean, come on, we know how it's going to go.
Mr. McGuigan?
This is a motion to table.
Yes.
Ms. Radford?
No, she's entitled to this.
They call it humiliation. Like any other job, you work a year to get your weekly.
Motion to table
Just,
passes 4 to 3.
just one more thing, Cindy, I have a question. We talked earlier in the year about getting rid of the penalty. Any penalties for the earned income tax next year? Can you speak on that a little bit?
Getting rid of the, yeah,
As far as penalties, you know, it wasn't very clear at the beginning of last
people that are
year.
delinquent. Yeah, people that haven't paid for the beginning of the year.
That's correct.
Yeah, what I suggest is we set up a meeting, for council's approval with Mike Hill from Centax. What you do is possibly put together a window, 30 to 60 days, where people become compliant, the ones that, you know, the tax was enacted last year, people that didn't know, didn't file quarterly, or had it taken out of their pay, and are going to pay late, we give them a 30 to 60 day window to come in, become compliant, and then council would abate the penalty. Still have to charge interest. That would work that out with Centax, but they have to be current with this year's taxes and so forth. So that would be.
It was my understanding that under state law, you can have a one-time, you can forgive it one time without any penalty, but it's something that you can only do once.
Well, it's your call to abate penalties. I don't think you can abate the interest. I mean, you get the penalty abate, that's probably the larger charge, but that's council's call on it. You vote on that, Centax, and then when the monies came in, as long as that taxpayer was current with their current earned income tax, you could abate the penalty. That's an internal thing you guys have to decide
Now,
on.
when you say 30, 60 days, do you mean from April 15th?
Yeah, I would do it after April 15th. You figure from April 15th to maybe June 15th. You can't give them an open window. You have to set a target. You have to advertise, bring it up to the next few meetings, like television channel and so forth, website, and then give people a chance to come in and Centex would monitor that. It's successful in 2 ways. The state of Pennsylvania, a year or 2 ago, had the same thing. Everybody was delinquent on their state taxes. They abated the penalty if you came in and paid by a certain date. They reaped millions and millions of dollars. People come in, take advantage of that. It will be the same thing here. And once you get people that are delinquent and haven't filed, they'll be on the rolls now. So if they become delinquent again, we'll have them on the rolls to continue to go enforce it if they become delinquent at a later time. That's what I suggest.
I would like to make a motion for Carmen to get a retro pay that Joe Center just brought up for 1/1 to the day that she was let go.
Is that a retro pay or?
Yes, not,
They
yes.
already agreed on that, Christine.
They already agreed on
Oh,
that.
I guess, sorry.
Or you talk about the week's vacation?
Not, the week's vacation, we tabled the other.
The vacation was.
So does that mean I get it or I don't get it?
It's the vacation.
So if any of you get fired tomorrow, you don't get your vacation pay.
No, I don't.
No, you don't.
No.
That you accumulated last year.
And I can give you the phone number to the office in New York.
I do.
Oh, you work for it?
No, I have the office and media's phone number, that's okay.
They give you your vacation pay. When your vacation pay is.
What's your one?
every month?
The one that you got on Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it can be more detailed or whatever council suggests.
Okay. Thanks, Joe.
Well,
Okay, you know what,
I'd like to,
because I need to know if you fired her, I want to know on what grounds you fired her. Now that you fired her, there's got to be grounds what you fired her on. Can you answer me that now? Any of you? Because last week it was pushed to the side because you're only,
I said at one point,
excuse me?
at one point.
You just said she was fired. And she just said when she was fired from her job, she will not get her vacation, so she was fired. So what grounds was she fired on? First she was let go, and then she was this, now tonight she's fired. So, I mean, what were the grounds of her being fired? Maybe somebody can answer that tonight, because I was
take a
going to
5-minute recess, please.
know.